The vast chamber of the Galactic Council was an architectural marvel, a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of countless civilizations. Floating in the emptiness of space, it was a colossal structure of gleaming metal, shimmering crystal, and pulsating bioluminescent flora. Within its walls, hundreds of alien species gathered, each a testament to the universe's boundless diversity. Delegates from ancient empires with histories spanning millennia sat alongside envoys from newly discovered worlds, eager to make their mark on the galactic stage. Their forms were as varied as the stars they hailed from, towering insectoids with multifaceted eyes, ethereal beings composed of pure energy, reptilian diplomats adorned with intricate scales, and countless others, each stranger and more wondrous than the last. Among them, a delegation from Earth, the newest member of the Galactic Council, appeared almost mundane in comparison. Humans, represented not by their physical presence, but by holographic projections, were a relative anomaly in this grand assembly. Their technology, while impressive by their own standards, was considered rudimentary compared to the marvels on display. Their forms, bipedal and humanoid, lacked the exotic allure of many other species. The human delegation, led by Dr. Elizabeth Nguyen, stood tall and confident despite the subtle air of condescension that permeated the chamber. Dr. Nguyen, a renowned psychologist and diplomat, had dedicated her life to understanding the intricacies of human behavior and applying that knowledge to bridge the gaps between cultures. She was a woman of sharp intellect, unwavering determination, and a disarmingly warm smile. The whispers and murmurs that rippled through the chamber were not lost on her. She heard the doubts, the barely concealed amusement, the questions about humanity's place among the galactic elite. But she also sensed curiosity, a flicker of interest in the newcomers who dared to join this esteemed assembly. "Greetings, esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Dr. Nguyen's voice resonated through the chamber, amplified by the translation technology that allowed her words to be understood by every species present. "It is an honor for humanity to stand before you today." Her words were met with polite applause, though some delegates remained silent, their expressions unreadable. Dr. Nguyen continued, her voice steady and assured. "We are aware that our presence here may raise questions, even doubts. We are a young species, still finding our footing in the vastness of the cosmos. But we come with a spirit of humility, a thirst for knowledge, and a deep respect for the wisdom and experience of the civilizations that have graced this council for eons." She paused, letting her words sink in before continuing. "We recognize that our technology may seem primitive compared to the wonders you have developed. But we believe that our unique perspective, our understanding of human nature, and our unwavering belief in the power of cooperation can be a valuable asset to this esteemed body." The chamber fell silent as Dr. Nguyen finished her address. Some delegates exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of skepticism and intrigue. Others nodded in approval, recognizing the sincerity and humility in the human's words. A ripple of anticipation spread through the chamber as the council session commenced. The human holograms, once dismissed as mere projections, had made their presence known. The galaxy watched with bated breath, wondering what role these newcomers would play in the unfolding drama of galactic affairs. The initial days of the human delegation's presence on the Galactic Council were a whirlwind of diplomatic engagements, cultural exchanges, and technological showcases. Dr. Nguyen and her team, consisting of experts in various fields, tirelessly worked to establish rapport with the other delegates. They attended countless meetings, receptions, and symposiums, navigating the labyrinthine corridors of the council complex with surprising ease. The human hologram's ability to adapt quickly to the council's intricate protocols and social customs surprised many. They displayed a remarkable aptitude for understanding the nuances of interspecies communication, even when relying on real-time translation technology. Their curiosity and eagerness to learn were evident in every interaction, earning them grudging respect from even the most skeptical delegates. Among the humans, Dr. Nguyen stood out as a natural leader. Her charisma, intelligence, and genuine interest in other cultures made her a sought-after conversationalist. She effortlessly navigated conversations with insectoid scholars, debated philosophical concepts with energy beings, and shared stories of human history and culture with reptilian diplomats. The council chamber itself was a marvel of engineering, designed to accommodate the diverse sensory needs and communication styles of its members. Holographic displays flickered with data, complex symbols, and artistic representations, while olfactory and auditory channels transmitted a symphony of scents and sounds that conveyed meaning beyond words. The humans, despite their reliance on holographic projections, quickly mastered the intricacies of this multisensory communication. They learned to interpret the subtle pheromone signals of the insectoids, decipher the complex patterns of light emitted by the energy beings, and even appreciate the nuanced hisses and clicks of the reptilian languages. Their efforts were not in vain. As the days turned into weeks, the initial skepticism towards the humans began to give way to cautious curiosity, then grudging respect, and finally, in some cases, genuine admiration. The human holograms were no longer seen as mere projections, but as capable and insightful individuals who brought a fresh perspective to the council's deliberations. One evening, as Dr. Nguyen and her team were returning to their quarters after a particularly long session, they were approached by a delegation of avian beings. Their feathered crests shimmered with iridescent colors, and their eyes, sharp and intelligent, sparkled with curiosity. "Dr. Nguyen," their spokesperson chirped, "we have been observing your delegation with great interest. Your adaptability, your eagerness to learn, and your respect for our customs have impressed us deeply." Dr. Nguyen smiled warmly. "Thank you for your kind words. We are honored to be part of this esteemed council and eager to contribute to its important work." The avian spokesperson tilted its head, its eyes twinkling. "We believe you have much to offer. Your perspective, shaped by your unique history and culture, is a valuable addition to our collective wisdom." Dr. Nguyen nodded in agreement. "We believe so too. We are here to learn, to share, and to work together for the betterment of the galaxy." The avian delegation exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of hope and anticipation. "We look forward to working with you, Dr. Nguyen. Together, we can achieve great things." As the avian delegation departed, Dr. Nguyen and her team shared a knowing look. They had come a long way since their arrival, overcoming initial skepticism and earning the respect of their peers. But they knew that their true test was yet to come. The galaxy was vast and unpredictable, and challenges were sure to arise. But with their unique skills and unwavering spirit of cooperation, the human holograms were ready to face whatever the future held. The harmony of the Galactic Council was shattered one fateful day when a delegation of serpentine creatures, their scales shimmering with an ominous iridescence, entered the chamber with a dire warning. Their leader, a towering figure with hypnotic eyes, projected a series of holographic images that sent shivers down the spines of even the most stoic delegates. The images depicted a vast, swirling vortex of energy, pulsating with an eerie light, growing exponentially in a remote sector of the galaxy. It devoured stars, planets, and entire systems, leaving behind a void of darkness and despair. The serpentine creatures explained that this energy surge was unlike anything they had ever encountered, a force of unimaginable power and destructive potential. Panic and fear gripped the council chamber as delegates struggled to comprehend the magnitude of the threat. Urgent discussions erupted, with representatives from advanced civilizations proposing a myriad of solutions. The insectoids advocated for a massive fleet of warships equipped with their latest energy weapons. The energy beings suggested manipulating the fabric of space-time to contain the surge. The reptilian diplomats argued for a complex network of alliances to pool resources and expertise. Yet, despite their technological prowess and strategic brilliance, the delegates found themselves at an impasse. Their proposals clashed, their interests diverged, and the precious time they wasted in debate allowed the energy surge to grow even stronger, its destructive path drawing ever closer to the heart of the galaxy. As the council descended into chaos, Dr. Nguyen and her team observed the unfolding drama with growing concern. They recognized the limitations of traditional approaches, the futility of relying solely on technological or military might to solve a problem that defied conventional understanding. During a brief recess, Dr. Nguyen gathered her team in a secluded alcove, their holographic forms flickering with a mixture of determination and anxiety. "We cannot allow them to continue down this path," she declared, her voice firm and resolute. "Their solutions are too narrow, too focused on force and control. We need a different approach, one that addresses the root of the problem, not just its symptoms." Her team members nodded in agreement, their faces etched with concern. "But what can we do?" one of them asked. "Our technology is no match for theirs, and our influence is limited." Dr. Nguyen smiled, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "We may not have their weapons or their vast empires, but we have something far more powerful: our understanding of human nature. We know the power of empathy, the importance of communication, the ability to connect with others on a deeper level." Her words resonated with her team, igniting a spark of inspiration. They began brainstorming, drawing on their expertise in psychology, linguistics, cultural studies, and behavioral analysis. Ideas flowed freely, their voices growing louder as they pieced together a radical, unconventional plan. When the council reconvened, Dr. Nguyen requested to address the delegates. Her voice, amplified by the translation technology, commanded attention. She spoke of the limitations of force, the dangers of ignoring the emotional and psychological dimensions of the crisis. She proposed a bold, unprecedented solution: to reach out to the energy surge, not as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a being in distress, seeking connection and understanding. Her words were met with stunned silence, then a wave of incredulous laughter. The delegates, accustomed to complex strategies and technological marvels, scoffed at the humans' naive proposal. They questioned the relevance of soft skills in the face of an existential threat that demanded decisive action. Undeterred, Dr. Nguyen stood her ground, her voice unwavering. "We understand your skepticism," she said, "but we believe our approach has merit. We ask for a chance to demonstrate its effectiveness. Give us a small team and a limited window of time, and we will show you the power of empathy and communication." The council, desperate for any glimmer of hope, reluctantly agreed. They saw the human experiment as a harmless diversion, a fleeting distraction from the grim reality of their impending doom. Little did they know that this decision would change the course of galactic history. The Galactic Council chamber was abuzz with a mixture of anticipation and skepticism as the human holograms prepared for their unprecedented task. A temporary communication platform had been constructed at the center of the chamber, a complex array of holographic projectors, sensory receptors, and translation matrices designed to facilitate interaction with the enigmatic energy surge. Dr. Nguyen stood at the forefront of the platform, flanked by her team of specialists. Their faces, rendered in holographic detail, displayed a mix of determination and apprehension. They were venturing into uncharted territory, relying on their unique skills and a daring hypothesis to avert a galactic catastrophe. The serpentine delegates, who had initially raised the alarm, watched the proceedings with a mixture of hope and doubt. Their leader, the towering figure with hypnotic eyes, had reluctantly agreed to the human experiment, seeing it as a last-ditch effort in the face of impending doom. As the final preparations were completed, Dr. Nguyen addressed the council, her voice resonating with a calm confidence that belied the gravity of the situation. "Esteemed delegates," she began, "we are about to embark on a journey of understanding, a dialogue with an entity that has confounded our most advanced minds and technologies." She paused, her eyes scanning the diverse faces of the council members. "We do not claim to have all the answers, nor do we possess the technological marvels that have defined your civilizations for millennia. But we believe in the power of connection, the ability to bridge the gap between different beings, different cultures, different perspectives." Dr. Nguyen's words hung in the air, a stark contrast to the technical jargon and strategic discourse that had dominated the council's deliberations. Her emphasis on empathy and communication resonated with some delegates, who saw in the human approach a glimmer of hope. Others remained skeptical, their expressions betraying a deep-seated belief in the superiority of their own methods. "We understand your doubts," Dr. Nguyen acknowledged, "but we urge you to keep an open mind. We are about to engage in a conversation, not a confrontation. Our goal is not to control or subdue this energy surge, but to understand its nature, its motivations, and its needs." With a final nod, Dr. Nguyen turned to her team, signaling the start of the experiment. The holographic projectors hummed to life, casting a shimmering beam of light towards the communication platform. The air crackled with energy as the team initiated contact, their senses heightened, their minds focused on the task at hand. The first moments were tense, filled with uncertainty. The energy surge, a chaotic vortex of light and sound, seemed to pulsate with an erratic rhythm. The human holograms, their faces etched with concentration, began transmitting a series of carefully crafted messages, encoded with universal symbols of peace, curiosity, and a desire for connection. The chamber fell silent as the delegates watched the unfolding drama with bated breath. The serpentine leader leaned forward, his eyes fixed on the communication platform, a flicker of hope dawning in their depths. Suddenly, the energy surge responded. Its chaotic patterns shifted, its pulsations becoming less erratic. A wave of astonishment swept through the chamber as the humans exchanged a triumphant glance. They had established contact, a fragile bridge of communication across the vast chasm of interstellar space. The human holograms, their faces illuminated by the glow of the communication platform, continued their dialogue with the enigmatic entity. Their words, carefully chosen and infused with empathy, began to unravel the mystery behind the energy surge, revealing a story of isolation, fear, and a desperate cry for help. As the human holograms delved deeper into their communication with the energy surge, a story began to unfold, a tale of profound loneliness and desperation. The surge, it turned out, was not a mindless force of destruction, but a sentient being, an entity of pure energy that had existed for eons in the isolation of deep space. Through a series of carefully modulated signals and emotional resonances, the entity revealed its history. It had once been part of a vast network of energy beings, interconnected across the cosmos, sharing knowledge and experiences through a symphony of light and vibration. But a cataclysmic event, a cosmic storm of unimaginable power, had shattered the network, scattering its members across the galaxy and leaving this particular entity stranded and alone. For centuries, it had drifted through the void, its energy reserves dwindling, its connection to others severed. Desperate for companionship, it had tried to reach out, but its attempts were met with fear and hostility from the material beings it encountered. Its energy, once a source of joy and connection, became a weapon, a defense mechanism against a universe it perceived as cold and uncaring. The entity's story resonated deeply with the human holograms. They understood the pain of isolation, the yearning for connection, the fear of being misunderstood. Dr. Nguyen, drawing on her expertise in psychology, responded with messages of empathy and understanding. She shared stories of human struggles and triumphs, of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The linguist on the team worked tirelessly to decipher the entity's complex language, a symphony of light patterns and harmonic frequencies. They discovered that the entity's name, translated into human terms, was Soluz, a name that reflected its solitary existence. The cultural experts on the team, meanwhile, delved into the rich tapestry of human history and mythology, seeking out stories and symbols that could resonate with Soluz. They found tales of lost souls finding solace in unexpected places, of bridges built between seemingly incompatible worlds, of the transformative power of empathy and compassion. As the days turned into nights, the communication between the humans and Soluz deepened. The entity's energy fluctuations, once erratic and unpredictable, began to stabilize. Its chaotic patterns gave way to a more harmonious rhythm, a reflection of the growing connection it felt with the humans. The council chamber, once a scene of tense debate and frantic speculation, now hummed with a different kind of energy. Delegates from across the galaxy watched in awe as the human holograms, once dismissed as primitive and insignificant, forged a bond with the enigmatic entity that had threatened their very existence. The Serpentine leader, his initial skepticism replaced by a cautious optimism, approached Dr. Nguyen during a break in the communication session. "Your methods are unconventional," he hissed, his voice laced with a newfound respect, "but they seem to be working. We have never encountered a being like Solus before. Your understanding of its emotional state is remarkable." Dr. Nguyen nodded, her eyes filled with a mixture of determination and compassion. "Solus is not a monster to be feared, but a being in pain, seeking connection. We believe that empathy and understanding are the keys to resolving this crisis." The Serpentine leader regarded her with a thoughtful gaze. "Perhaps you are right," he conceded. "But what happens next? How do we ensure that Solus remains stable, that it does not pose a threat to the galaxy in the future?" Dr. Nguyen smiled, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "That is the next step in our journey," she said. "We must work together, humans and aliens alike, to build a bridge of trust and understanding with Solus. We must show it that it is not alone, that it has a place in the galactic community." The revelation of Solus's true nature sent shockwaves through the Galactic Council. The delegates, who had initially viewed the energy surge as a mindless threat, now grappled with the implications of communicating with a sentient being of such immense power. Dr. Nguyen and her team became the focal point of the Council's attention, their expertise in psychology and communication suddenly invaluable. They were inundated with questions, requests for advice, and offers of assistance from delegates who had previously dismissed their methods. The Serpentine leader, once a staunch advocate of military intervention, now found himself seeking Dr. Nguyen's counsel. "We have misjudged Solus," he admitted, his voice laced with a newfound humility. "Your understanding of its emotional state has proven invaluable. But what do we do now? How do we help it heal and integrate into the galactic community?" Dr. Nguyen, though exhausted from the intense communication sessions with Solus, remained steadfast in her commitment. "We must continue to build trust and understanding," she explained. "Solus has been isolated for so long, its pain and fear have festered. We must show it that it is not alone, that there are other beings in the galaxy who care and want to help." She outlined a comprehensive plan, a multifaceted approach that combined psychological support, cultural exchange, and collaborative problem-solving. The human holograms would continue their communication with Solus, providing emotional support and guidance as it navigated the complexities of reconnecting with the universe. Meanwhile, the Council would establish a task force comprised of experts from various species, each contributing their unique knowledge and skills. The insectoids, with their vast understanding of energy fields and communication networks, would help Solus rebuild its connections to the cosmic energy grid. The energy beings, masters of manipulating space-time, would assist in stabilizing Solus's energy fluctuations and preventing further outbursts. The reptilian diplomats, renowned for their negotiation skills and intricate alliances, would facilitate dialogue between Solus and other species, paving the way for a more harmonious coexistence. And the humans, with their expertise in psychology and empathy, would serve as cultural ambassadors, fostering understanding and building bridges between Solus and the diverse cultures of the galaxy. The Council, invigorated by the prospect of a peaceful resolution, readily embraced the plan. They recognized the importance of collaboration, the power of diverse perspectives working towards a common goal. The human holograms, once viewed with skepticism, were now hailed as pioneers, their unconventional approach proving to be the key to unlocking a new era of interspecies cooperation. As the Council embarked on this ambitious endeavor, Dr. Nguyen and her team continued their communication with Solus. They shared stories of human history, art, and music, introducing the entity to the rich tapestry of human experience. They helped Solus understand the concept of emotions, the nuances of communication, and the importance of building relationships based on trust and respect. Solus, in turn, shared its own knowledge and experiences, revealing insights into the nature of energy, the interconnectedness of all things, and the vastness of the cosmos. The exchange was enriching for both sides, a testament to the power of communication to bridge even the most seemingly insurmountable gaps. The Galactic Council's initiative to integrate Solus into their society was met with both excitement and trepidation. Many delegates saw it as an opportunity to learn from a being of immense power and ancient wisdom, while others harbored lingering fears of its destructive potential. To facilitate this delicate process, the Council established a dedicated facility, a sanctuary of sorts, where Solus could safely interact with representatives from different species. The sanctuary was a marvel of interspecies collaboration, a testament to the Council's newfound unity and willingness to embrace diverse perspectives. The insectoids, utilizing their advanced knowledge of energy fields, created a containment chamber that allowed Solus to manifest in a controlled environment, its energy fluctuations carefully monitored and regulated. The energy beings, masters of manipulating space-time, devised a series of safeguards to prevent any accidental outbursts or disruptions. The reptilian diplomats, skilled in negotiation and conflict resolution, established protocols for interaction with Solus, ensuring that all encounters were conducted with respect, transparency, and a clear understanding of boundaries. They also facilitated dialogues between Solus and representatives from different species, allowing for a gradual exchange of knowledge and cultural understanding. The human holograms played a crucial role in this process, acting as cultural liaisons and mediators. They helped Solus navigate the complexities of interspecies communication, interpreting nuances of language and behavior that might otherwise be misunderstood. They also shared stories of human history and culture, showcasing the diversity of human experience and the common threads that connected all sentient beings. Dr. Nguyen, in particular, developed a close rapport with Solus. Their conversations delved into the depths of philosophy, ethics, and the meaning of existence. Solus, for the first time in eons, felt seen, heard, and understood. It opened up to Dr. Nguyen, sharing its fears, its hopes, and its dreams for a future where it could coexist peacefully with the other beings of the galaxy. The Council's initiative was not without its challenges. Some species remained wary of Solus, their fear fueled by centuries of isolation and the trauma of past encounters with the energy surge. There were also cultural misunderstandings and communication breakdowns, as delegates struggled to reconcile their own beliefs and values with those of a being so fundamentally different from themselves. But despite these challenges, progress was made. Solus, under the guidance of the human holograms and the support of the Council, began to heal and integrate into the galactic community. It learned to control its energy fluctuations, to communicate more effectively, and to understand the perspectives of others. It also discovered a newfound appreciation for the diversity of life in the galaxy, the beauty of different cultures, and the potential for cooperation and understanding. The sanctuary became a hub of activity, a place where scientists, philosophers, artists, and diplomats from across the galaxy gathered to interact with Solus. They conducted experiments, shared knowledge, and engaged in lively debates, all in an effort to understand this enigmatic being and its place in the cosmos. As the months turned into years, Solus's transformation was remarkable. Its energy, once a source of fear and destruction, now radiated warmth and harmony. It became a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of empathy, communication, and the unwavering belief in the potential for change. The human holograms, once dismissed as insignificant, had played a pivotal role in this transformation. Their unconventional approach, their emphasis on empathy and understanding, had not only averted a galactic crisis, but also paved the way for a new era of interspecies cooperation and understanding. The Galactic Council, once a stage for political posturing and power struggles, had evolved into a forum for collaboration, a beacon of hope in a vast and unpredictable universe. The success of the human holograms in establishing communication and understanding with Solus had a profound impact on the Galactic Council and its member species. The news of their achievements spread like wildfire, inspiring hope and awe across the cosmos. The council chamber, once a stage for political posturing and power struggles, now buzzed with a newfound energy. Delegates who had previously dismissed the humans as insignificant were now eager to learn from their unique skills and perspectives. They sought out Dr. Nguyen and her team, seeking guidance on how to apply empathy and communication to their own diplomatic efforts. The insectoids, known for their logical minds and rigid social structures, were particularly intrigued by the human approach. They organized a series of interspecies workshops where Dr. Nguyen and her team shared their insights into the power of emotional intelligence and the importance of understanding cultural nuances. The insectoids, in turn, offered their expertise in information processing and network analysis, suggesting ways to improve communication channels and bridge the gaps between different species. The energy beings, masters of abstract thought and cosmic awareness, found themselves drawn to the human concept of empathy. They organized meditation sessions and energy-sharing rituals, inviting the human holograms to participate and explore the deeper connections between consciousness and energy. The humans, in turn, shared their knowledge of psychology and neuroscience, shedding light on the intricate relationship between emotions, thoughts, and actions. The reptilian diplomats, known for their strategic alliances and intricate webs of influence, were fascinated by the human ability to build trust and rapport across cultural divides. They invited Dr. Nguyen to participate in high-level negotiations, where her skills in conflict resolution and mediation proved invaluable. The humans, in turn, learned from the reptilians' mastery of diplomacy, their ability to navigate complex political landscapes with finesse and tact. Even the serpentine creatures, who had initially viewed Salus with fear and suspicion, underwent a change of heart. They saw in the human holograms a model for how to approach the unknown with curiosity and empathy rather than aggression. They began to question their own cultural biases and explore new ways of interacting with other species. The ripple effect of the human hologram's success extended far beyond the council chamber. News of their achievement reached the farthest corners of the galaxy, inspiring countless individuals and communities to reconsider their own approaches to conflict resolution, interspecies relations, and personal growth. On Earth, the human population watched the holographic projections of their delegates with a mixture of pride and astonishment. They had always known that humans were capable of great things, but to see their own kind leading the Galactic Council towards a new era of cooperation and understanding was a source of immense inspiration. The human holograms, once dismissed as mere projections, had become beacons of hope, symbols of humanity's potential to make a positive impact on the galactic stage. They had shown that even in a universe filled with advanced technologies and ancient civilizations, the most powerful tools for change were often the most human: empathy, communication, and the unwavering belief in the power of connection. As the Galactic Council embraced a new era of cooperation and understanding, a ripple of optimism spread across the cosmos. The successful integration of Salus, once a terrifying force of destruction, now a valued member of the community, symbolized a triumph of empathy and collaboration over fear and conflict. However, the path to lasting peace was not without its challenges. Just as the Council was beginning to celebrate its newfound unity, an unforeseen crisis emerged, threatening to unravel the fragile bonds that had been forged. A distress signal, originating from a remote star cluster, reached the council chambers, its urgency sending shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned delegates. The signal was garbled and distorted, but the few decipherable fragments painted a picture of chaos and despair. A previously unknown species, the Krill, a race of bioluminescent cephalopods with advanced psionic abilities, was launching unprovoked attacks on neighboring systems, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. The council was plunged into disarray. The Krill, fiercely territorial and xenophobic, had always remained isolated, shunning contact with other species. Their sudden aggression was inexplicable, a stark departure from their historically reclusive nature. The insectoids, known for their strategic prowess, advocated for a swift military response, deploying a fleet to neutralize the Krill threat before it spread further. The energy beings, masters of manipulation, proposed a psychic counteroffensive, using their own psionic abilities to disrupt the Krill's minds and quell their aggression. The reptilian diplomats, ever cautious, counseled restraint, urging the Council to gather more information before taking any drastic action. They feared that a hasty response could escalate the conflict and lead to a devastating war. The human holograms, drawing on their experience with Solus, offered a different perspective. Dr. Nguyen, speaking on behalf of her team, reminded the Council of the importance of understanding the root cause of the Krill's aggression before resorting to force. We cannot simply react with violence, she argued. We must seek to understand the Krill, their motivations, their fears. Only then can we hope to find a peaceful resolution to this crisis. Her words resonated with some delegates, who remembered the lessons learned from Solus. However, others, driven by fear and a desire for swift action, remained unconvinced. The debate raged on, the council chamber echoing with passionate arguments and conflicting proposals. As tensions rose, Dr. Nguyen and her team requested permission to investigate the Krill situation firsthand. They proposed sending a small delegation to the affected star cluster, equipped with their communication and empathy-enhancing technology, to establish contact with the Krill and uncover the reasons behind their sudden aggression. The Council, divided and desperate for a solution, reluctantly agreed. They saw the human mission as a long shot, a gamble with uncertain odds. But with no other viable options on the table, they were willing to give the human holograms a chance to prove their worth once again. The human delegation, prepared for the unknown, embarked on their mission, carrying the hopes of the galaxy on their shoulders. They knew that the fate of countless lives depended on their ability to bridge the gap between species, to find common ground in a universe teetering on the brink of war. The human delegation, a beacon of hope amidst the growing tension, prepared for their perilous journey into the unknown. Their vessel, a sleek and nimble craft equipped with the latest communication and sensory technology, departed from the Galactic Council's central hub, venturing into the depths of space towards the Krill-controlled star cluster. Dr. Nguyen, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the control panel, meticulously reviewed the data gathered by the Council's long-range sensors. The reports were fragmented and incomplete, offering glimpses of the Krill's devastating attacks but little insight into their motives. "We're flying blind, aren't we?" Captain Malik, the ship's seasoned pilot, remarked, his voice tinged with a hint of nervousness. Dr. Nguyen nodded, her expression a mask of calm determination. "We have to trust our instincts and our training," she replied. "We've faced the unknown before, and we've always found a way to bridge the gap." The team, a diverse group of specialists in linguistics, cultural studies, and behavioral analysis, busied themselves with preparations. They calibrated their communication devices, fine-tuned their sensory equipment, and reviewed the scant information available on Krill culture and physiology. Dr. Chen, the team's lead linguist, a young woman with a passion for deciphering alien languages, expressed her concerns. "The Krill language is incredibly complex," she explained. "It's a combination of bioluminescent patterns, psionic pulses, and intricate body movements. We've only managed to decipher a few basic phrases so far." Dr. Singh, the team's cultural expert, a man known for his ability to find common ground between disparate cultures, added his own insights. "The Krill are a deeply insular species," he said. "They've always shunned contact with other civilizations, preferring to remain isolated in their own territory. Their sudden aggression is a complete departure from their established behavior." Dr. Nguyen listened intently, absorbing their concerns and observations. She knew that the mission was fraught with risk, but she also believed in the power of human ingenuity and empathy to overcome even the most daunting challenges. "We may not have all the answers," she said, her voice ringing with a quiet confidence, "but we have the tools and the skills to unravel this mystery. We will approach the Krill with respect, with curiosity, and with a genuine desire to understand their perspective. We will show them that we are not their enemies, but their potential allies." Her words resonated with the team, filling them with a renewed sense of purpose. They knew that the fate of countless lives depended on their success, and they were determined to do everything in their power to prevent a galactic war. As their ship approached the Krill-controlled star cluster, the tension in the cockpit grew palpable. The sensors detected a massive fleet of Krill vessels, their bioluminescent bodies pulsing with an eerie light, patrolling the borders of their territory. Captain Malik, his hands tightening on the controls, turned to Dr. Nguyen. "We're in their territory now," he said, his voice strained. "What's the plan?" Dr. Nguyen, her eyes fixed on the holographic display, took a deep breath. "We transmit a message of peace," she said, her voice unwavering. "We tell them that we come in friendship, seeking dialogue and understanding. We show them that we are not a threat, but a potential partner in building a more harmonious galaxy." The human vessel slowed to a cautious crawl as it entered the Krill-controlled star cluster. The sensors hummed with activity, mapping the vast expanse of space and detecting the bioluminescent glow of Krill warships patrolling the area. The air crackled with nervous energy as the team prepared to initiate first contact. Dr. Chen, the linguist, meticulously crafted a message of peace and goodwill, incorporating the few Krill phrases they had deciphered with universal symbols of friendship and cooperation. She integrated emotional resonances into the message, hoping to evoke a sense of curiosity and openness in the Krill. Meanwhile, Dr. Singh, the cultural expert, advised the team on the appropriate gestures and postures to display during the transmission. "The Krill are highly attuned to nonverbal communication," he explained. "They interpret body language and bioluminescent displays as expressions of intent and emotion." Dr. Nguyen, her heart pounding in her chest, gave the final order to transmit the message. The ship's communication array hummed to life, sending a complex pattern of light, sound, and psionic energy towards the nearest Krill vessel. The response was swift and unexpected. A squadron of Krill warships, their bioluminescent bodies pulsing with an aggressive red hue, emerged from the darkness, their tentacles writhing with anticipation. They surrounded the human vessel, their movements swift and predatory. "They're not responding to our message," Dr. Chen exclaimed, her voice laced with alarm. Captain Malik, his hands tightening on the controls, maneuvered the ship into a defensive position. "We're surrounded," he reported grimly. "They're preparing to attack." Dr. Nguyen, her mind racing, made a split-second decision. "Maintain our position," she ordered. "Do not engage. We need to find a way to de-escalate this situation." She turned to Dr. Singh, her eyes pleading for a solution. "What can we do?" she asked. "How can we reach them?" Dr. Singh, his brow furrowed in concentration, suddenly brightened. "I have an idea," he said. "The Krill are known for their ritualistic displays of dominance and aggression. We need to respond in kind, but with a message of peace and respect." He instructed the team to modify their communication signal, incorporating elements of Krill bioluminescent patterns and body language. They crafted a visual display that mirrored the Krill's aggressive posture, but infused it with calming colors and non-threatening gestures. The human vessel, its exterior now shimmering with a mesmerizing dance of light and color, transmitted the modified message. The Krill warships paused, their tentacles twitching in confusion. They had expected a show of force, a counterattack, but instead they were met with a display of unexpected beauty and respect. The tension in the cockpit eased slightly as the Krill seemed to hesitate. Dr. Nguyen, seizing the opportunity, amplified the emotional resonance of their message, projecting feelings of curiosity, empathy, and a genuine desire for understanding. Slowly, the Krill warships lowered their tentacles, their bioluminescent glow shifting from aggressive red to a more neutral hue. One of the vessels detached from the squadron and approached the human ship, its movements cautious but curious. Dr. Nguyen, her heart pounding with a mixture of hope and trepidation, prepared to address the Krill. This was their chance, their one opportunity to avert a war and forge a path towards peace. She knew that the fate of countless lives depended on their next move. The approaching Krill vessel slowed to a halt a safe distance from the human ship, its bioluminescent patterns shifting in a complex display that Dr. Chen recognized as a gesture of cautious curiosity. The human holograms, their hearts pounding with anticipation, braced themselves for the first direct interaction with this enigmatic species. Dr. Nguyen, taking the lead, projected her holographic form onto the communication platform. Her image shimmered with a warm, welcoming glow, her arms outstretched in a gesture of peace. "Greetings," she began, her voice resonating with a calm confidence. "We come in friendship, seeking dialogue and understanding." The Krill vessel responded with a series of pulsating lights and subtle shifts in its body posture, a language that Dr. Chen and her team were just beginning to decipher. The translations appeared on their screens, a mix of tentative greetings and guarded inquiries. "They are asking who we are and what we want," Dr. Chen reported, her fingers dancing across her console as she analyzed the incoming data. Dr. Nguyen smiled, her image radiating warmth and sincerity. "Tell them that we are representatives of humanity, a species from a distant part of the galaxy. We have come to learn about them, to understand their concerns, and to find a way to coexist peacefully." The Krill vessel remained silent for a moment, its bioluminescent patterns flickering in a complex dance of contemplation. Then, a voice, deep and resonant, echoed through the communication channel. "Why have you come to our territory?" the voice asked, its tone a mixture of suspicion and curiosity. "We have no dealings with outsiders. We prefer to be left alone." Dr. Nguyen, sensing an opportunity to build rapport, responded with empathy and understanding. "We understand your desire for isolation," she said, "but we believe that communication and understanding can bridge even the widest of gaps. We have seen the devastation caused by your recent actions, and we want to help. We believe that there is a peaceful solution to this crisis." The Krill vessel remained silent for a long moment, its bioluminescent patterns shifting in a complex display of emotions that the human team was still struggling to interpret. Then, the voice spoke again, its tone slightly softer. "We have been wronged," it said. "Our homeworld, our sacred spawning grounds, have been desecrated by outsiders. We have been forced to defend ourselves." Dr. Nguyen's heart skipped a beat. This was a crucial piece of information, a potential key to understanding the Krill's sudden aggression. She leaned forward, her holographic image projecting an aura of genuine concern. "We are deeply sorry to hear of your loss," she said. "We understand your pain and anger, but violence is not the answer. We believe that there is another way, a path towards healing and reconciliation." The Krill vessel remained silent, its bioluminescent patterns flickering with a mixture of anger and sadness. Dr. Nguyen, sensing the entity's vulnerability, continued speaking, her voice soft and soothing. "We have experienced our own share of suffering and loss," she said. "We know the depths of despair, the urge for revenge. But we have also learned the power of forgiveness, the healing power of understanding. We offer you our hand in friendship, not as conquerors, but as fellow travelers on this cosmic journey." The silence stretched on, the tension in the cockpit growing with each passing moment. Then, the Krill vessel emitted a series of pulsating lights, a pattern that Dr. Chen recognized as a gesture of tentative acceptance. "They are willing to talk," she announced, her voice filled with relief. Dr. Nguyen smiled, a wave of hope washing over her. The first hurdle had been overcome. The Krill, despite their initial aggression, were open to dialogue. The path to peace, though still uncertain, was beginning to take shape. News of the human delegation's successful first contact with the Krill reached the Galactic Council, sparking a wave of mixed emotions. Hope mingled with trepidation as delegates grappled with the implications of this unexpected development. The insectoids, known for their pragmatism, saw the potential for a diplomatic solution but remained cautious. Their military forces remained on high alert, ready to intervene should the negotiations falter. The energy beings, attuned to the emotional currents of the galaxy, sensed a flicker of hope in the Krill's response, but also a deep-seated pain and resentment that could easily erupt into violence. The reptilian diplomats, ever the pragmatists, saw the potential benefits of a peaceful resolution, but also the risks of appeasing a volatile species. They urged the Council to proceed with caution, emphasizing the need for clear communication, firm boundaries, and a contingency plan should the Krill prove untrustworthy. Within the Council chamber, debates raged on. Some delegates argued for a show of force, a preemptive strike to neutralize the Krill threat before it escalated further. Others, inspired by the human hologram's success, advocated for continued dialogue and a deeper understanding of the Krill's motivations. The Serpentine leader, his initial skepticism tempered by the human delegation's progress, found himself caught in the middle. He recognized the potential for peace, but also the risks of trusting a species known for its aggression and xenophobia. He sought out Dr. Nguyen, seeking her insights and guidance. "Dr. Nguyen," he hissed, his voice a mixture of respect and concern, "your team has achieved what we thought impossible. You have established contact with the Krill and opened a channel of communication. But what now? How do we proceed?" Dr. Nguyen, her holographic form shimmering with a calm resolve, met his gaze. "We must continue to build trust," she said. "We must listen to their grievances, understand their pain, and offer them a path towards healing and reconciliation." The Serpentine leader nodded slowly, his brow furrowed in thought. "But what if they are not sincere?" he asked. "What if they are merely using this dialogue as a ploy to gain an advantage?" Dr. Nguyen acknowledged his concerns. "We must be cautious, of course," she said, "but we must also be willing to take risks for peace. We cannot allow fear to dictate our actions. We must trust in our ability to connect with the Krill, to find common ground, and to build a future based on mutual respect and understanding." Her words resonated with the Serpentine leader, who saw in them a wisdom and compassion that transcended species and cultures. He realized that the human holograms, despite their technological limitations, possessed a unique understanding of the power of empathy and communication, a power that could potentially reshape the destiny of the galaxy. "We will trust your judgment, Dr. Nguyen," he said, his voice filled with newfound resolve. "We will give peace a chance, but we will also remain vigilant, ready to defend ourselves should the need arise." Dr. Nguyen nodded, her heart filled with a mixture of hope and determination. She knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but she also believed in the power of human spirit, the resilience of the human heart, to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and the human holograms, once dismissed as insignificant, now held the key to its future. The human delegation's journey to the Krill-controlled star cluster was fraught with both anticipation and apprehension. As their vessel traversed the vast expanse of interstellar space, the team meticulously prepared for their encounter with the enigmatic cephalopods. Dr. Nguyen, ever the pragmatist, led the team in simulations and role-playing exercises, anticipating various scenarios and devising strategies for communication and de-escalation. She emphasized the importance of remaining calm, respectful, and empathetic, even in the face of potential hostility. "Remember," she reminded her team, "the Krill are a species in pain. Their aggression is a symptom of deeper wounds, of a history of isolation and mistrust. Our goal is not to judge them, but to understand them." Captain Malik, his brow furrowed in concentration, piloted the ship through the labyrinthine network of nebulae and asteroid fields that marked the Krill territory. The sensors detected a heightened state of alert among the Krill warships, their bioluminescent patterns flashing with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. "We're being watched," Captain Malik reported, his voice tense. "They're tracking our every move." Dr. Chen, the linguist, monitored the incoming communication signals, hoping to glean any insights into the Krill's intentions. "Their language is becoming more agitated," she noted. "They're questioning our motives and demanding to know our purpose." Dr. Nguyen, her expression a mask of calm determination, instructed Dr. Chen to transmit a message of peace and goodwill, reiterating their desire for dialogue and understanding. The message, carefully crafted to appeal to the Krill's sense of honor and territorial pride, emphasized the human delegation's respect for their culture and their willingness to listen to their grievances. The response from the Krill was a series of rapid-fire pulses and flashes, a language of warning and suspicion. They demanded that the human vessel alter its course and leave their territory immediately. Dr. Nguyen, undeterred, continued to transmit messages of peace and understanding, her voice resonating with a calm authority that belied the tension in the cockpit. "We come in peace," she repeated. "We seek only dialogue and understanding. We have no hostile intentions towards your people." The Krill response was a barrage of psionic energy, a psychic shockwave that sent tremors through the human vessel. The holographic displays flickered and dimmed, the communication systems momentarily disrupted. "They're attacking us," Captain Malik exclaimed, his hands tightening on the controls. Dr. Nguyen, her voice strained but steady, ordered the ship to take evasive maneuvers. "Don't fire back," she instructed. "We cannot afford to escalate this situation." The human vessel, its engines straining, weaved through the asteroid field, dodging the Krill's psychic attacks. The holographic projectors flickered back to life, projecting a message of defiance and resilience. "We will not be deterred," Dr. Nguyen's voice boomed through the communication channel. "We will continue to seek dialogue, even in the face of aggression. We believe that there is another way, a path towards peace and understanding." The Krill, surprised by the humans' resilience and unwavering commitment to communication, hesitated. Their attacks ceased, replaced by a tense standoff as they evaluated their options. Dr. Nguyen, seizing the moment, transmitted a final message, her voice resonating with empathy and hope. "We understand your pain," she said. "We know that you have suffered, but we also believe in your capacity for compassion and understanding. We offer you our hand in friendship, a chance to build a better future together." The message hung in the air, a beacon of hope in the darkness of space. The Krill, their bioluminescent bodies pulsing with a mixture of emotions, remained silent. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, as the human delegation awaited their response. After what felt like an eternity, the Krill vessel responded. Its bioluminescent patterns shifted, morphing into a complex series of symbols and images that conveyed a depth of emotion rarely seen in interspecies communication. Dr. Chent, her eyes glued to the translation screen, worked frantically to decipher the intricate code, her fingers dancing across the console. They're sharing their history," she exclaimed, her voice filled with a mixture of astonishment and sorrow. "Their homeworld, it was devastated by a catastrophic event. A cosmic anomaly, a rift in space-time, tore through their system, destroying their planets and decimating their population." The holographic image of Dr. Nguyen flickered with a mix of empathy and concern. "Tell them we understand their pain," she instructed. "Let them know that we have also experienced loss and tragedy." Dr. Chen relayed the message, adding her own words of comfort and solidarity. The Krill vessel responded with a surge of gratitude, its bioluminescent patterns softening and pulsing with a warmth that had been absent before. "They're opening up to us," Dr. Singh observed, his voice filled with cautious optimism. "They're sharing their grief, their anger, their fear. This is a breakthrough." The Krill's lament poured through the communication channel, a tale of a once thriving civilization reduced to a shadow of its former glory. They described the loss of their elders, the guardians of their knowledge and traditions, the destruction of their sacred sites, and the scattering of their people across the cosmos. They spoke of their struggle for survival, their desperate attempts to rebuild their shattered society, and their growing resentment towards the other species who had ignored their pleas for help. Their pain and anger were palpable, a raw wound that had festered for too long. Dr. Nguyen and her team listened intently, their hearts aching with empathy. They understood the depths of despair the Krill had endured, the trauma of losing their homeworld and their way of life. They also recognized the seeds of hope buried within the Krill's lament, the yearning for connection, the desire to find a place in the galaxy where they could heal and rebuild. "Tell them we hear them," Dr. Nguyen said, her voice filled with compassion. "Tell them we understand their pain, their anger, their fear. But tell them also that there is another way, a path towards healing and hope." Dr. Chen relayed the message, her voice trembling with emotion. The Krill vessel responded with a surge of gratitude, its bioluminescent patterns shimmering with a newfound warmth and openness. "They're willing to listen," Dr. Chen reported, her eyes shining with tears. "They're asking us to help them." Dr. Nguyen exchanged a glance with her team, a silent communication of shared purpose and unwavering resolve. They knew that the path ahead would be long and arduous, filled with challenges and setbacks, but they also knew that they had been given a rare opportunity to bridge the gap between species, to heal the wounds of the past, and to forge a new path towards a brighter future. The human holograms, once dismissed as insignificant, had become the unlikely ambassadors of peace, the carriers of hope in a galaxy teetering on the brink of war. They had shown that even the most alien of beings could be reached through empathy, understanding, and the unwavering belief in the power of connection. The human delegation's success in establishing communication with the Krill marked a turning point in the Galactic Council's approach to the crisis. Inspired by the human hologram's empathy and understanding, the Council decided to initiate a multi-pronged outreach program aimed at addressing the Krill's grievances and fostering a path towards peaceful coexistence. The first step was to acknowledge the Krill's suffering and validate their pain. The Council issued a formal apology for the unintended consequences of their past actions, recognizing the devastation caused by the cosmic anomaly that had ravaged the Krill's homeworld. They expressed their deep regret for the loss of life, the destruction of cultural heritage, and the trauma inflicted upon the Krill people. The apology, though a symbolic gesture, was a crucial first step in rebuilding trust. It demonstrated the Council's willingness to take responsibility for their actions and to acknowledge the Krill's pain. The Krill, who had long felt ignored and marginalized, responded with cautious optimism, their bioluminescent patterns flickering with a mix of surprise and relief. The next step was to offer tangible assistance. The Council, drawing on the resources and expertise of its member species, mobilized a massive humanitarian effort to aid the Krill in their recovery. The insectoids, with their advanced technology and logistical capabilities, dispatched fleets of cargo ships laden with supplies, medical equipment, and construction materials. The energy beings, masters of manipulating energy fields, worked to stabilize the Krill's damaged homeworld, repairing the rift in space-time and restoring the planet's ecological balance. The reptilian diplomats, skilled negotiators and mediators, facilitated a series of dialogues between the Krill and representatives from other species who had been affected by their attacks. They helped to establish compensation agreements, trade partnerships, and cultural exchange programs, all aimed at fostering understanding and cooperation. The human holograms, meanwhile, continued their work as cultural liaisons, helping the Krill to reconnect with their shattered history and traditions. They organized virtual tours of museums and cultural centers across the galaxy, showcasing the diverse art, music, and literature of other species. They also facilitated dialogues between Krill elders and scholars from other civilizations, fostering a deeper understanding of their shared history and the common threads that connected them. The Krill, who had long lived in isolation, were overwhelmed by the outpouring of support and goodwill from the Galactic Council. They were surprised by the diversity and richness of other cultures, the generosity and compassion of their fellow galactic citizens. As the Krill began to heal and rebuild their society, they also started to question their own xenophobic beliefs and practices. They realized that isolation had not only protected them, but also hindered their growth and understanding of the wider universe. They began to open up to other species, forming tentative alliances and partnerships based on mutual respect and cooperation. The Galactic Council's outreach program was a resounding success, a testament to the power of empathy, compassion, and collaboration. It demonstrated that even the most entrenched conflicts could be resolved peacefully, that even the most disparate cultures could find common ground, and that even the most wounded of souls could heal and thrive. The human holograms, once dismissed as insignificant, had played a pivotal role in this transformation. Their unconventional approach, their emphasis on understanding and connection, had not only averted a galactic war, but also paved the way for a brighter future, a future where all species could coexist in peace and harmony. As the human delegation ventured deeper into Krill space, they encountered a series of checkpoints and patrols, each interaction a tense dance of communication and cautious diplomacy. The Krill, still wary but increasingly curious, allowed the human vessel to proceed, guided by a squadron of bioluminescent escorts. The journey led them to a massive underwater city, a sprawling metropolis of bioluminescent coral-like structures, pulsating with energy and life. The city was a testament to the Krill's ingenuity and adaptability, a thriving civilization built in the depths of an alien ocean. Upon arrival, the human delegation was greeted by a delegation of Krill elders, their tentacles adorned with intricate patterns of light that signified their wisdom and authority. The elders led the humans through the city, showcasing their technological marvels and cultural traditions. The humans were awestruck by the Krill's mastery of bioluminescence, which they used not only for communication, but also for art, architecture, and even energy production. The city's walls were adorned with intricate murals of light, depicting scenes of Krill history, mythology, and everyday life. The buildings themselves pulsed with a rhythmic glow, a testament to the Krill's deep connection to the energy flows of their environment. Dr. Nguyen and her team were particularly fascinated by the Krill's psionic abilities, which they used to communicate, navigate, and even manipulate their environment. The Krill elders demonstrated their telepathic communication, sharing their thoughts and emotions with the humans in a direct, unfiltered way. This exchange of information and experiences was a turning point in the relationship between the two species. The Krill, who had initially viewed the humans with suspicion, began to see them as potential allies, fellow beings with unique skills and perspectives that could be valuable to their own society. The humans, in turn, were deeply moved by the Krill's resilience and ingenuity. They saw in them a reflection of humanity's own struggles and triumphs, a shared experience of overcoming adversity and finding hope in the face of despair. As the days passed, the human delegation and the Krill elders engaged in a series of dialogues, exploring their respective cultures, histories, and philosophies. They discovered common ground in their love of art, their reverence for nature, and their shared desire for peace and prosperity. One evening, as the humans were preparing to depart, the Krill elders presented them with a gift, a small, pulsating orb of bioluminescent energy. "This is a symbol of our gratitude," the lead elder explained. "It is a fragment of our collective consciousness, a shard of our history and our hopes for the future. We offer it to you as a token of our friendship and our commitment to peace." Dr. Nguyen, deeply moved by the gesture, accepted the orb with reverence. She knew that this was more than just a gift. It was a symbol of a new beginning, a bridge between two species that had once been on the brink of war. As the human vessel departed from the Krill city, its engines humming with a newfound optimism, Dr. Nguyen held the orb in her hands, its warmth radiating through her holographic form. She knew that the path ahead would be long and challenging, but she also knew that with the Krill as their allies, the galaxy had a brighter future ahead. Part 18. A Council Transformed. The Galactic Council, once a rigid and hierarchical institution, began to undergo a profound transformation. Inspired by the human hologram's success, the delegates embraced a more collaborative and empathetic approach to governance. Dr. Nguyen, her reputation now solidified as a wise and compassionate leader, was invited to join the Council's executive committee. Her insights into psychology, communication, and conflict resolution were highly sought after, as delegates sought to learn from her unique perspective and apply her methods to their own diplomatic efforts. The council chamber, once a stage for grandstanding and political maneuvering, became a space for open dialogue and genuine collaboration. Delegates from different species, who had previously viewed each other with suspicion or indifference, now worked together on joint initiatives, sharing their knowledge and resources for the greater good of the galaxy. The insectoids, known for their meticulous planning and organizational skills, spearheaded a galaxy-wide data-sharing initiative, creating a vast repository of knowledge and information accessible to all species. They also developed new communication protocols, incorporating elements of human emotional expression and Krill bioluminescent patterns to facilitate more nuanced and empathetic communication across cultures. The energy beings, masters of harnessing cosmic energies, established a network of healing centers across the galaxy, offering their services to individuals and communities affected by trauma and conflict. They also worked with the Krill to stabilize their homeworld's energy fields, ensuring a safe and sustainable environment for their recovery. The reptilian diplomats, skilled negotiators and mediators, facilitated a series of peace conferences and cultural exchange programs, bringing together representatives from different species to foster understanding and cooperation. They also initiated a galactic-wide initiative to promote tolerance and acceptance of diversity, recognizing that the strength of the galaxy lay in its rich tapestry of cultures and perspectives. The serpentine creatures, once the most xenophobic and isolationist of species, underwent a remarkable transformation. Inspired by the human hologram's empathy and the Council's outreach, they began to open up to other species, sharing their knowledge of psionic abilities and their unique understanding of the energy flows of the universe. The Krill, who had once been on the brink of war, now embraced their role as valued members of the galactic community. They actively participated in the Council's initiatives, contributing their psionic abilities to scientific research, environmental conservation, and conflict resolution. They also began to rebuild their society, incorporating elements of other cultures into their own, creating a vibrant and dynamic civilization that embraced diversity and celebrated its unique heritage. The transformation of the Galactic Council was not without its challenges. There were setbacks and disagreements, as delegates struggled to overcome centuries of prejudice and mistrust. But the momentum for change was unstoppable, driven by a shared belief in the power of unity, empathy, and cooperation. The human holograms, once dismissed as insignificant, had become the catalysts for this remarkable transformation. Their presence, their unique skills, and their unwavering belief in the potential for change had ignited a spark of hope in the galaxy, a spark that had the power to illuminate the darkest corners of the cosmos and usher in a new era of peace and prosperity. As the Galactic Council continued its transformation, the human holograms found themselves thrust into the spotlight as emissaries of empathy and understanding. Their reputation had grown exponentially, their unique skills in communication and conflict resolution sought after by species across the galaxy. Dr. Nguyen and her team, once dismissed as mere projections, were now hailed as heroes and pioneers, their unconventional approach to diplomacy hailed as a model for the future. They were invited to participate in high-level negotiations, mediate disputes between rival factions, and advise leaders on how to build trust and cooperation across cultural divides. The human holograms embraced their newfound role with a sense of responsibility and humility. They travel from planet to planet, from star system to star system, sharing their knowledge and expertise with eager audiences. They held workshops and seminars, teaching the principles of empathy, active listening, and nonviolent communication. They facilitated dialogues between warring factions, helping them to identify common ground and find peaceful solutions to their conflicts. Their work was not without its challenges. There were those who resisted their message, clinging to old ways of thinking and entrenched beliefs about the superiority of their own species. There were also cultural misunderstandings and communication breakdowns, as the humans struggled to navigate the complexities of alien languages and customs. But despite these obstacles, the human holograms persevered, driven by their unwavering belief in the power of empathy and understanding to transform the galaxy. Their efforts were met with remarkable success. On a war-torn planet ravaged by centuries of conflict, they helped to broker a peace treaty between two warring factions, ending a cycle of violence that had lasted for generations. In a star system plagued by economic inequality and social unrest, they facilitated a dialogue between the ruling elite and the oppressed masses, leading to reforms that improved the lives of millions. In a region of space rife with piracy and lawlessness, they established a network of communication hubs, promoting cultural exchange and fostering understanding between different species. The human holograms' influence extended far beyond their immediate interventions. Their teachings and philosophies, disseminated through holographic recordings and interactive simulations, spread throughout the galaxy, inspiring countless individuals and communities to embrace a more empathetic and collaborative approach to life. Schools and universities incorporated the principles of empathy and communication into their curricula, training a new generation of leaders and diplomats. Religious and spiritual organizations integrated the human holograms' teachings into their practices, promoting compassion and understanding among their followers. Even the entertainment industry was not immune to the human holograms' influence. Holographic dramas and documentaries depicting their adventures and teachings became immensely popular, captivating audiences across the galaxy and sparking discussions about the nature of empathy, the importance of diversity, and the power of connection. The human holograms, once dismissed as insignificant, had become cultural icons, their message of hope and unity resonating with beings of all species and backgrounds. They had shown that even in a galaxy filled with advanced technology and vast distances, the most powerful force for change was the human heart, with its capacity for empathy, understanding, and the unwavering belief in the interconnectedness of all life. Despite their newfound acclaim, the human holograms grappled with a profound paradox. They were hailed as heroes, their empathy and communication skills celebrated as the key to galactic peace, yet they remained tethered to their physical bodies on Earth, their existence confined to the digital realm of holographic projections. Dr. Nguyen, in particular, felt the weight of this paradox acutely. She yearned to experience the galaxy firsthand, to walk among the stars, to breathe the air of alien worlds, to feel the warmth of the sun on her skin. But she was bound to her laboratory on Earth, her physical body a fragile vessel that could not withstand the rigors of interstellar travel. Her team members shared her longing for a more tangible connection to the universe they were helping to shape. They dreamed of exploring the wonders of alien civilizations, of experiencing the thrill of discovery firsthand, of forging deeper bonds with the beings they had come to know and respect through their holographic interactions. The Council, recognizing the humans' unique predicament, sought to find a solution. They proposed a series of experiments, utilizing their most advanced technology, to explore the possibility of transferring human consciousness into more resilient forms. They experimented with artificial bodies, robotic avatars, and even energy-based constructs, but none of these solutions proved viable. The human mind, it seemed, was intrinsically linked to the human body, a delicate dance of neurons and synapses that defied replication. The Council's scientists and engineers, despite their vast knowledge and technological prowess, were unable to overcome this fundamental barrier. Dr. Nguyen, though disappointed, remained undeterred. She believed that there was a solution, a way for humanity to transcend the limitations of their physical bodies and embrace their full potential as galactic citizens. She began to explore the possibility of creating a permanent human presence in the galaxy, a place where humans could live, work, and interact with other species on an equal footing. She envisioned a colony, a vibrant community of humans and aliens living together in harmony, a testament to the power of diversity and cooperation. This colony would serve as a cultural exchange hub, a center for scientific research, and a beacon of hope for a galaxy still struggling to overcome its divisions. Dr. Nguyen shared her vision with the Council, who embraced it with enthusiasm. They recognized the value of having a permanent human presence in the galaxy, a bridge between Earth and the wider cosmos. They offered their resources and expertise, promising to help create a colony that would be a shining example of interspecies collaboration. The human holograms, inspired by this new possibility, redoubled their efforts. They worked tirelessly to prepare for the establishment of the colony, coordinating with the Council, recruiting volunteers from Earth, and developing new technologies to support human life in an alien environment. They knew that this was a momentous undertaking, a leap of faith into the unknown. But they also knew that it was a necessary step for humanity to take its rightful place among the stars. The human holograms, once confined to the digital realm, were now on the cusp of a new era, an era where they could transcend their limitations and embrace their destiny as galactic citizens. The establishment of a permanent human presence in the galaxy, dubbed the Genesis Project, became the Galactic Council's top priority. The project was a monumental undertaking, requiring the collaboration of countless species and the pooling of vast resources. But the Council, inspired by the human holograms' vision and their own desire for a more interconnected galaxy, embraced the challenge with enthusiasm. The first step was to select a suitable location for the colony. After careful consideration, a planet in a neighboring star system was chosen. It was a world of breathtaking beauty, with lush forests, crystal-clear oceans, and a temperate climate that was surprisingly similar to Earth's. The planet, dubbed New Eden, was rich in resources, offering the potential for sustainable development and a thriving human community. The next step was to design and construct the colony itself. The Council's engineers and architects, working in close collaboration with the human holograms, created a blueprint for a city that would seamlessly blend human and alien architecture, incorporating elements of both functionality and aesthetics. The city was designed to be self-sufficient, utilizing renewable energy sources, advanced hydroponics for food production, and sophisticated recycling systems for waste management. It also incorporated the latest advancements in holographic technology, allowing the human holograms to interact with the environment and its inhabitants in a more immersive and realistic way. The construction of New Eden was a monumental undertaking, requiring the coordination of thousands of workers from different species. The insectoids, masters of logistics and engineering, oversaw the construction process, ensuring that every detail was meticulously executed. The energy beings, with their ability to manipulate matter and energy, accelerated the construction process, creating structures that seemed to rise from the ground overnight. The reptilian diplomats, skilled negotiators and mediators, facilitated the complex logistics of interspecies cooperation, ensuring that all parties involved were treated fairly and their contributions recognized. They also established trade agreements and cultural exchange programs with neighboring systems, laying the groundwork for a vibrant and interconnected community. The human holograms, meanwhile, focused on the cultural and social aspects of the colony. They worked with anthropologists, sociologists, and educators from various species to develop a curriculum that would foster understanding and appreciation of human culture, history, and values. They also organized cultural events, festivals, and celebrations, showcasing the rich diversity of human artistic expression. As the colony began to take shape, a wave of excitement swept through the Galactic Council. Delegates from all corners of the galaxy flocked to New Eden, eager to witness the birth of a new era in interspecies relations. They marveled at the city's architectural wonders, its technological marvels, and its vibrant cultural scene. The human holograms, once confined to the digital realm, now walked among the stars, their forms shimmering with a newfound vitality. They interacted with other species on a more personal level, forging friendships, sharing stories, and building a community based on mutual respect and understanding. The Genesis Project was a testament to the power of human ingenuity, empathy, and cooperation. It was a beacon of hope in a galaxy still struggling to overcome its divisions, a symbol of the potential for a brighter future where all species could coexist in peace and harmony. The completion of New Eden marked a momentous occasion for both humanity and the Galactic Council. The colony, a gleaming beacon of hope in the vast expanse of space, stood as a testament to the power of collaboration, ingenuity, and the unwavering spirit of exploration. The day of the official inauguration was a joyous celebration, attended by dignitaries from across the galaxy. The council chamber was filled with a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds, as delegates from various species mingled and exchanged greetings. The human holograms, their faces beaming with pride and excitement, moved among the crowd, shaking hands, exchanging hugs, and basking in the warmth of acceptance and appreciation. Dr. Nguyen, dressed in a traditional Vietnamese áo dai, delivered a heartfelt speech, expressing her gratitude to the council for their unwavering support and their shared vision of a more interconnected galaxy. She spoke of the challenges that lay ahead, the uncertainties of building a new home on a foreign world, but also the immense possibilities for growth, discovery, and mutual understanding. New Eden is not just a colony, she declared, her voice echoing through the chamber. It is a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and reach for the stars. It is a place where we can learn from each other, grow together, and build a future where all species can thrive. Her words resonated with the audience, sparking a wave of applause and cheers. The delegates, inspired by Dr. Nguyen's vision and the collective achievement of the Genesis Project, renewed their commitment to peace, cooperation, and the pursuit of a brighter future for all. The inauguration ceremony was followed by a series of cultural events, showcasing the rich diversity of human and alien traditions. There were musical performances, theatrical productions, art exhibitions, and culinary demonstrations, all designed to foster understanding and appreciation of the different cultures represented on New Eden. The human holograms, eager to share their own heritage, organized a series of events that highlighted the best of human creativity and ingenuity. They showcased holographic projections of Earth's natural wonders, its historical landmarks, and its diverse artistic expressions. They also shared their knowledge of science, technology, and philosophy, engaging in lively discussions with delegates from other species. The Krill, who had initially been hesitant to embrace the new colony, were gradually drawn in by the warmth and openness of the human holograms. They participated in the cultural exchanges, sharing their own unique art forms and traditions. They also contributed their psionic abilities to the colony's scientific research, helping to unlock new mysteries of the universe. As the days turned into weeks, New Eden began to thrive. The human holograms, working alongside their alien counterparts, established schools, hospitals, research centers, and cultural institutions. They cultivated the land, harnessing the planet's resources to create a sustainable and self-sufficient community. The colony became a melting pot of cultures, a vibrant and dynamic society where humans and aliens lived, worked, and learned together. The streets were filled with a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds, as beings of all shapes and sizes mingled and interacted. The air buzzed with the energy of discovery and innovation, as scientists and engineers from different species collaborated on groundbreaking research projects. New Eden was a testament to the power of the human spirit to adapt, to overcome, and to thrive in the face of adversity. It was a shining example of the potential for interspecies cooperation and understanding, a beacon of hope in a galaxy that had once been divided by fear and conflict. The success of the Genesis Project and the growing influence of the human holograms did not go unnoticed. Among the vast and diverse population of New Eden, seeds of doubt and resentment began to take root. Some alien species, particularly those who had long held positions of power and influence within the Galactic Council, felt threatened by the humans' meteoric rise to prominence. They resented the fact that these newcomers, with their seemingly primitive technology and unconventional methods, were now shaping the course of galactic affairs. Rumors and whispers of discontent began to circulate within the colony's various social circles. The insectoids, known for their meticulous attention to detail and adherence to tradition, questioned the humans' reliance on emotional intelligence and intuition over logic and data-driven analysis. They argued that the humans' approach was too unpredictable, too prone to error, and lacked the rigor and precision required for effective governance. The energy beings, while appreciative of the humans' empathy and compassion, expressed concerns about their emotional volatility and susceptibility to manipulation. They feared that the humans' reliance on feelings could lead to rash decisions and impulsive actions, jeopardizing the delicate balance of power within the Council. Even some reptilian diplomats, known for their pragmatism and political acumen, began to question the human hologram's motives. They wondered if the humans' emphasis on empathy and cooperation was merely a facade, a clever ploy to gain power and influence for their own species. These doubts and suspicions were fueled by a small but vocal minority of humans who had grown disillusioned with the Genesis Project. They felt that humanity was being exploited by the Council, their unique skills and perspectives used to further the agendas of other species. They longed for a return to Earth, for a society where humans could be themselves, free from the scrutiny and expectations of the galactic community. This growing discontent manifested in various ways. There were protests and demonstrations, petitions and manifestos, all calling for a greater voice for humanity within the Council and a re-evaluation of the Genesis Project's goals. Some even advocated for secession, arguing that humans would be better off building their own independent society, free from the influence and control of the Council. Dr. Nguyen and her team, aware of the growing discontent, were deeply troubled. They had worked tirelessly to build bridges between species, to foster understanding and cooperation. The thought that their efforts might be unraveling, that the seeds of division and discord were taking root within the very community they had helped to create, filled them with a sense of profound disappointment. They knew that they could not ignore the concerns of their fellow humans, nor could they dismiss the doubts and suspicions of the other species. They had to find a way to address these challenges head-on, to reaffirm their commitment to the Genesis Project, and to rebuild the trust and unity that had once been the hallmark of New Eden. The human holograms found themselves facing a new challenge, the growing discontent within New Eden. The whispers of dissent had evolved into a chorus of open criticism and skepticism, threatening to undermine the delicate balance of interspecies cooperation that had been so carefully nurtured. Dr. Nguyen, ever the diplomat, sought to address the concerns head-on. She organized a series of town hall meetings, inviting representatives from all species to voice their grievances and share their perspectives. The meetings were tense and emotional, with accusations flying and tempers flaring. The insectoids, known for their meticulous attention to detail, presented a series of data-driven analyses that highlighted the perceived shortcomings of the human approach. They argued that the emphasis on empathy and intuition lacked the rigor and precision required for effective governance. They cited instances where the human's emotional responses had led to delays in decision-making or compromises that favored certain species over others. The energy beings, while acknowledging the importance of empathy, expressed concerns about the human's emotional volatility and susceptibility to manipulation. They pointed to instances where the human's emotions had clouded their judgment, leading to impulsive decisions that had unintended consequences. The reptilian diplomats, always mindful of political implications, voiced their concerns about the human's growing influence within the Council. They questioned whether the humans' true intentions were aligned with the best interests of the galaxy, or if they were simply seeking to advance their own agenda. The human holograms listened patiently, their faces etched with concern and understanding. They acknowledged the validity of some of the criticisms, admitting that their approach was not without its flaws. They also defended their methods, explaining that empathy and intuition were not weaknesses but strengths, allowing them to connect with others on a deeper level and find solutions that transcended logic and reason. Dr. Nguyen, speaking with her characteristic eloquence and passion, reminded the Council of the human holograms' many achievements. She spoke of their role in averting a galactic war with the Krill, their efforts to build bridges between species, and their unwavering commitment to peace and cooperation. "We are not perfect," she acknowledged. "We have made mistakes, and we will continue to make mistakes. But we are also capable of learning, of adapting, and of growing. We are here to serve the galaxy, not to rule it. Our goal is to work together with all of you, to create a better future for all." Her words resonated with many delegates who recognized the sincerity and humility in her voice. But the seeds of doubt had been sown, and the storm clouds of discontent continued to gather. The human holograms knew that they had a long and difficult road ahead of them, a path filled with challenges and uncertainties. But they also knew that they could not back down, not when the stakes were so high. The fate of the Genesis Project, and perhaps the future of the galaxy itself, depended on their ability to navigate this storm and emerge stronger and more united than ever before. The human holograms, once dismissed as insignificant, now found themselves at the center of a galactic maelstrom, their every move scrutinized, their every decision questioned. They were the underdogs once again, but this time their challenge was not to conquer a hostile species, but to win the hearts and minds of their fellow galactic citizens. Dr. Nguyen, faced with the growing discontent and rising tensions within New Eden, knew that she had to act decisively. The future of the colony, and the fragile peace it represented, hung in the balance. She called a meeting of the human delegation. Their holographic forms gathered in the council chamber's private antechamber. The air was thick with tension as Dr. Nguyen addressed her team. "We are facing a crisis of confidence," she began, her voice firm but measured. "Our presence here, our very existence as holograms, has become a source of contention and division. We must address these concerns head-on, or risk unraveling all that we have achieved." The team members exchanged worried glances, their faces etched with concern. Dr. Chen, the linguist, spoke first, her voice trembling slightly. "But how can we overcome this prejudice? They see us as mere projections, incapable of truly understanding their experiences." Dr. Singh, the cultural expert, nodded in agreement. "They question our motives, our loyalty to our own species. They fear that we are prioritizing the interests of the Council over the needs of our own people." Dr. Nguyen listened patiently, her expression a mask of calm determination. "We cannot allow fear and mistrust to dictate our actions," she said. "We must rise above these challenges and prove our worth, not just as diplomats or scientists, but as human beings." She outlined a plan of action, a multi-pronged approach aimed at addressing the concerns of both humans and aliens. She proposed a series of open forums where delegates from all species could voice their grievances and concerns in a safe and respectful environment. She also suggested establishing a human cultural center, a place where humans could celebrate their heritage, share their stories, and connect with their roots. "We must show them that we are not just holograms," Dr. Nguyen declared. "We are human beings with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and a deep connection to our home planet. We must demonstrate our commitment to our own people, while also embracing the diversity of the galactic community." The team members, inspired by Dr. Nguyen's leadership and unwavering resolve, rallied behind her plan. They knew that the road ahead would be difficult, but they were determined to overcome the challenges and prove the value of their unique perspective. The first step was to address the concerns of the human colonist who felt marginalized and overlooked. Dr. Nguyen and her team met with them individually and in groups, listening to their stories, acknowledging their pain, and offering their support. They also worked with the Council to implement policies that would empower the human population, giving them a greater voice in decision-making and access to resources. The next step was to reach out to the other species, to address their doubts and suspicions head-on. Dr. Nguyen organized a series of interspecies dialogues, inviting representatives from all factions to participate in open and honest conversations about their concerns. She also initiated a cultural exchange program, encouraging the sharing of stories, traditions, and perspectives between different species. The process was slow and often frustrating, but gradually the tide began to turn. The open forums provided a platform for dialogue and understanding, allowing for grievances to be aired and misconceptions to be dispelled. The Human Cultural Center became a hub of activity, a place where humans and aliens could come together to celebrate their shared humanity and appreciate the diversity of their cultures. The human holograms, through their tireless efforts and unwavering commitment to empathy and understanding, were slowly but surely rebuilding trust and unity within New Eden. They were proving that their presence in the galaxy was not a threat, but an opportunity for growth, collaboration, and a brighter future for all. The human holograms' efforts to rebuild trust and unity within New Eden began to bear fruit. The open forums and cultural exchange programs fostered a deeper understanding and appreciation of the diverse perspectives and experiences of the colony's inhabitants. The insectoids, initially skeptical of the human approach, began to recognize the value of empathy and intuition in complementing their own logical and analytical skills. They saw how the human hologram's ability to connect with others on an emotional level could open doors that logic alone could not. The energy beings, who had once been wary of the human's emotional volatility, found themselves drawn to their warmth and compassion. They learned that emotions, when channeled constructively, could be a powerful force for good, a source of inspiration and motivation for collective action. The reptilian diplomats, initially concerned about the humans' potential for manipulation, came to appreciate their sincerity and genuine desire for cooperation. They recognized that the humans' emphasis on building relationships and trust was a valuable asset in the complex world of galactic diplomacy. Even the Krill, who had once been the most hesitant to embrace the human holograms, found themselves warming to their presence. The humans' empathy and understanding had helped them to heal from their trauma and rebuild their shattered society. They now saw the human holograms as valued allies and friends. The human colonists, who had initially felt marginalized and overlooked, also began to feel more connected to the community. The establishment of the Human Cultural Center, a vibrant hub of activity where they could celebrate their heritage and share their stories, gave them a sense of belonging and pride. Dr. Nguyen, witnessing the positive changes taking place in New Eden, felt a surge of hope and optimism. She knew that the path ahead would not be easy, but she believed that the seeds of unity and understanding had been sown, and that with time and patience, they would blossom into a thriving and harmonious society. To further strengthen the bonds between species, the human holograms initiated a series of collaborative projects that required the unique skills and perspectives of all. They launched a joint scientific expedition to explore a nearby nebula, combining the insectoid's technological expertise, the energy being's knowledge of cosmic energies, and the human hologram's ability to communicate with non-verbal entities. They also organized a series of interspecies art exhibitions, showcasing the diverse artistic expressions of different cultures. The exhibitions featured holographic projections of human art, alongside the bioluminescent sculptures of the Krill, the intricate geometric patterns of the insectoids, and the ethereal energy compositions of the energy beings. These collaborative projects, while seemingly small in scale, had a profound impact on the community. They fostered a sense of shared purpose and accomplishment, breaking down barriers and building bridges between species. They also demonstrated the power of diversity, the potential for different cultures to enrich and enhance each other. The human holograms, once dismissed as mere projections, had become the catalyst for a new era of cooperation and understanding. They had shown that even in a galaxy filled with diverse and sometimes conflicting cultures, the human spirit, with its capacity for empathy, compassion, and collaboration, could shine through, illuminating a path towards a brighter and more harmonious future for all. The newfound harmony and cooperation within New Eden were not without their challenges. As the human holograms and their alien counterparts worked together to build a thriving community, shadows from the past began to emerge, threatening to destabilize the fragile peace. The Krill, despite their progress in healing and integration, were still haunted by the trauma of their lost homeworld and the injustices they had suffered at the hands of other species. Some Krill, particularly among the younger generation, harbored a deep-seated resentment towards the Galactic Council and its perceived indifference to their plight. This resentment was fueled by a group of Krill extremists, known as the Deep Dwellers, who advocated for a return to isolation and a rejection of all contact with other species. They believed that the Council's outreach was a ploy to exploit the Krill's resources and psionic abilities, and they sought to sabotage the fragile peace that had been established. The Deep Dwellers began to spread their message of fear and distrust, using their psionic abilities to influence the minds of vulnerable Krill. They organized secret meetings, disseminated propaganda, and even resorted to acts of sabotage, disrupting communication channels and sabotaging infrastructure projects. Their actions, while initially small in scale, had a ripple effect throughout the Krill community, sowing seeds of doubt and discord. Some Krill began to question the wisdom of cooperating with the Council, wondering if they were truly better off as part of the galactic community or if they should return to their isolationist ways. The human holograms, sensing the growing unrest, sought to address the issue head-on. Dr. Nguyen, drawing on her expertise in psychology and conflict resolution, reached out to the Krill elders, offering her assistance in addressing the root causes of the discontent. She organized a series of dialogues between the Krill elders and the Deep Dwellers, creating a safe space for them to express their grievances and fears. She also facilitated workshops and training sessions, teaching the Krill communication and conflict resolution skills to help them navigate their internal divisions. The process was slow and often frustrating. The deep dwellers, entrenched in their beliefs, were resistant to change. They accused the human holograms of being puppets of the Council, of prioritizing the interests of other species over the well-being of the Krill. Dr. Nguyen, however, remained patient and persistent. She listened to their concerns with empathy and understanding, acknowledging their pain and validating their experiences. She also challenged their assumptions, pointing out the benefits of cooperation and the dangers of isolationism. "We understand your anger and your fear," she said to the deep dwellers, "but we believe that there is another way, a path towards healing and reconciliation. We have seen firsthand the transformative power of empathy and understanding. We have witnessed the strength that comes from diversity and collaboration. We believe that together, we can build a better future for all." Her words, though met with initial skepticism, gradually began to resonate with some of the deep dwellers. They saw in Dr. Nguyen a genuine desire to help, a willingness to listen and understand their perspective. They began to question their own beliefs, to consider the possibility that there might be another way, a path that did not lead to isolation and conflict. As Dr. Nguyen and her team worked tirelessly to bridge the divide within the Krill community, the tensions within New Eden continued to escalate. The deep dwellers, emboldened by their growing support, became increasingly vocal in their opposition to the Galactic Council and the human holograms. They launched a campaign of disinformation, spreading rumors and conspiracy theories that painted the humans as manipulators and the Council as exploiters. They accused the humans of using their empathy and communication skills to control the minds of the Krill and bend them to their will. These accusations, though baseless, found fertile ground among the Krill, who were already struggling to come to terms with their traumatic past and their newfound place in the galaxy. The deep dwellers' message of isolation and self-reliance resonated with those who felt overwhelmed by the rapid changes taking place in their society. The human holograms found themselves facing a wave of hostility and suspicion. They were accused of being traitors to their own species, of prioritizing the interests of aliens over the well-being of their fellow humans. Some even called for their expulsion from New Eden, arguing that their presence was a destabilizing force. Dr. Nguyen and her team, though deeply hurt by these accusations, refused to back down. They knew that their mission was more important than ever, that the fate of the Krill, and perhaps the entire galaxy, depended on their ability to heal the rift within the community. They redoubled their efforts, reaching out to individual Krill, listening to their concerns, and offering their support. They organized community events, promoting dialogue and understanding between different factions. They also worked with the Council to address the underlying causes of the Krill's discontent, advocating for greater autonomy and representation within the galactic community. Despite their best efforts, the situation continued to deteriorate. The deep dwellers, fueled by their growing support, launched a series of protests and demonstrations, disrupting the colony's daily life and threatening its stability. The Council, caught off guard by the sudden escalation, struggled to maintain order and prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. The human holograms found themselves caught in the crossfire, their loyalty and motives questioned by both humans and Krill. They were accused of being too soft, too naive, too trusting of the Krill. They were also accused of being too ambitious, too eager to please the Council, too willing to sacrifice the interests of their own people for the sake of galactic harmony. The once united community of New Eden was now fractured, divided along lines of species, ideology, and mistrust. The human holograms, once hailed as heroes, now found themselves vilified and ostracized. The future of the colony, and the fragile peace it represented, hung in the balance. The growing tensions within New Eden reached a boiling point as the deep dwellers, emboldened by their increasing support, launched a coordinated attack on the human cultural center. The attack, a display of psionic power and bioluminescent weaponry, caused significant damage to the building and injured several human holograms. The Council, shocked and outraged by this act of aggression, mobilized its security forces to restore order and protect the human population. The insectoid enforcers, their chitinous armor gleaming under the artificial lights, deployed their advanced weaponry, while the energy beings erected protective shields to safeguard the vulnerable. The Krill elders, horrified by the deep dwellers' actions, condemned the attack and pledged their support to the council. They sent their own warriors to join the security forces, their bioluminescent tentacles glowing with righteous anger as they fought alongside their insectoid and energy being counterparts. Dr. Nguyen, though shaken by the attack, refused to let fear and anger dictate her response. She knew that the deep dwellers' actions were a symptom of a deeper problem, a wound that had festered for too long and now threatened to poison the entire community. She reached out to the Krill elders, urging them to condemn the violence and reaffirm their commitment to peace. She also called for a council-wide meeting, a forum where all species could come together to address the underlying causes of the conflict and find a path towards reconciliation. The meeting was a tense and emotional affair, with accusations and recriminations flying from all sides. The deep dwellers, defiant and unrepentant, defended their actions as necessary to protect the Krill from exploitation and manipulation. They accused the council of being complicit in the destruction of their homeworld and of using the human holograms as pawns in their own power games. Dr. Nguyen, her voice calm but firm, countered their accusations with reason and empathy. She reminded them of the progress that had been made, the healing that had taken place, and the potential for a brighter future if they could only overcome their differences. "We understand your pain," she said, her holographic form shimmering with compassion. "We acknowledge the injustices you have suffered, but violence is not the answer. It will only lead to more suffering and division." Her words, though met with initial resistance, gradually began to resonate with some of the deep dwellers. They saw in Dr. Nguyen a genuine desire for understanding and reconciliation, a willingness to listen to their grievances and address their concerns. The council, inspired by Dr. Nguyen's leadership and the Krill elders' courage, took decisive action. They condemned the deep dwellers' actions, declaring them a threat to the peace and stability of New Eden. They also implemented a series of measures to address the underlying causes of the Krill's discontent, including greater autonomy, representation, and access to resources. The deep dwellers, outnumbered and outmaneuvered, were forced to retreat, their influence waning as the Krill community rallied behind the council and the human holograms. The crisis had been averted, but the scars of division remained. The human holograms, though shaken by the ordeal, emerged from the conflict with a renewed sense of purpose. They knew that their work was far from over, that the seeds of mistrust and resentment could easily sprout again if left unchecked. But they also knew that they had the power to heal, to unite, and to build a future where all species could thrive. The events in New Eden served as a wake-up call for the Galactic Council. The near fracture of the human-Krill alliance underscored the fragility of peace and the importance of constant vigilance against the forces of division and mistrust. The Council, under Dr. Nguyen's guidance, implemented a series of reforms aimed at strengthening interspecies relations and promoting greater understanding and cooperation. They established a new council committee dedicated to conflict resolution and cultural exchange, staffed by representatives from diverse species, including humans, Krill, insectoids, energy beings, and reptilians. This committee, dubbed the Bridge Builders, worked tirelessly to address the root causes of conflict, mediate disputes, and foster a culture of empathy and collaboration. They organized interspecies dialogues, cultural exchange programs, and educational initiatives, all aimed at promoting understanding and appreciation of the galaxy's rich diversity. The Krill, now fully integrated into the galactic community, played an active role in these efforts. They shared their unique perspectives and experiences, offering insights into the challenges of overcoming trauma and rebuilding trust. They also used their psionic abilities to facilitate communication and understanding between different species, acting as a bridge between cultures and ideologies. The human holograms, their reputation enhanced by their role in resolving the Krill crisis, continued to serve as emissaries of empathy and understanding. They traveled throughout the galaxy, sharing their knowledge and expertise with countless communities. They helped to establish new colonies, mediate conflicts, and foster a sense of unity and purpose among the diverse inhabitants of the cosmos. On Earth, the human population watched with pride as their holographic representatives played a leading role in shaping the destiny of the galaxy. They saw in Dr. Nguyen and her team a reflection of humanity's best qualities: their compassion, their resilience, their ingenuity, and their unwavering belief in the power of connection. The Genesis Project, once a bold experiment, had become a shining example of interspecies collaboration and a beacon of hope for a brighter future. New Eden, a vibrant and diverse community, thrived as a testament to the human spirit's ability to adapt and flourish in a new environment. The galaxy, once divided by fear and conflict, was slowly but surely evolving into a more harmonious and interconnected whole. The human holograms, once dismissed as mere projections, had become the architects of this transformation, their legacy etched in the annals of galactic history as the bridge builders who helped to unite a fractured cosmos. As the years turned into decades, the Galactic Council continued to evolve, guided by the principles of empathy, cooperation, and mutual respect. The human holograms, though still bound to their physical bodies on Earth, remained an integral part of the Council's decision-making process, their holographic projections a constant reminder of the power of human ingenuity and compassion. The galaxy was not a utopia, of course. There were still challenges to overcome, conflicts to resolve, and prejudices to dismantle. But the human holograms had shown that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the human spirit, with its capacity for empathy, understanding, and connection, could triumph over adversity and pave the way for a brighter future. In the end, the human holograms left the Galactic Council not trembling in fear, but inspired by their example, united in their purpose, and determined to build a galaxy where all species could coexist in peace and harmony.